a quick interpretation for me in Portuguese to be respectful of both of our national languages. And I'm going to give a quick description of myself for those that are visually impaired. I am a heavyset Black female, currently wearing an overcoat and standing in the Arboretum on a slightly cloudy and rainy day. So again, my name is Noelle Young. I am a local sustainability solutionist. I have been recognized internationally. However, today I am here to I'm trying to be polite, if I'm being honest. I'm here to announce that I will be running as an independent candidate for Constituency 14, Devonshire. And I will be going up against Wayne Keynes, who is, of course, the current representative for this constituency. Wayne Keynes, the president of Belco, the biggest polluter on our island currently. Please know that this is not a personal attack against Wayne Keynes. However, it is an attack on what he stands for. Our energy prices are ridiculously high. Everyone on this island knows that. I cannot imagine the levels of pollution that are currently being distributed in our atmosphere and across our islands, especially in the other constituencies located right next to Belco. I am originally from Constituency 15, so right next door to here. I am a pond dog from Pond Hill. However, I do not see these constituency lines. I don't abide by that because realistically, Bacaton is my neighborhood, and this Arboretum is a part of Bacaton. This place holds personal significance for me. My parents were married here. My dad taught me how to train dogs in this park. Right? It's a place that I considered as a sanctuary when I lost my mother mentally to Alzheimer's and dementia. I used to run these trails. I used to collect fish from the ponds that used to be full of guppies. You know, take them home, breed them, return the babies. That was kind of my, I guess, one of my first acts of sustainability in Bermuda. I guess I should also talk about the changes I wish to see. So for the constituency itself, Constituency 14, I would like this place to be renewed. I would like it to be improved. I would like the gazebos returned. I would like the exercise equipment that has been installed to be refurbished. But most importantly, I would like it to become a welcoming place for our community. Why are there no paved pathways for people with accessibility issues or for children, you know, who are just learning to ride their bikes? Why are there no bathrooms? Why are we using porta potties? There used to be permanent toilets installed here. And at one point in time, there was an eco-conscious toilet here, a composting toilet that was removed simply because the maintenance was difficult. I would also like to see our national stadium become more accessible to the youth and children of Bermuda. My son was recently enrolled in the Active Kids program that our government is promoting, in the Tiny Titans program that was meant to start on Wednesday. However, as a parent, I received an email saying that start date that they originally announced for Monday was incorrect, that we would be starting on Wednesday. I received a phone call on Tuesday evening saying that the program, unfortunately, has been postponed, but they would let me know when it started. I have not heard anything back. This is a paid program that parents in the community have paid $150 for. However, we have no start date, we have no information, and we don't know what's happening. Another area that I would like to improve on is the Happy Valley Park, which is just down the hill. And for those that don't know, it used to be a stable area. People used to train dogs there. Kids used to go there to, you know, mess around, basically. I think that that area can be turned again into a welcoming place for our community. However, not just for people. I would like to see things like dog parks And I bring this up because children and youth are some of the people most impacted by dog attacks. Many of them go unreported internationally. It's a wide known fact. If we were to create something like a dog park in Bermuda, where people can take their dogs for socialization purposes, but also so that the children and youth of Bermuda can have the opportunity to participate in dog activities and activities outside of the norm, outside of just football, or just basketball, just other general sports. I believe that would be extremely useful. I also wish to support the sports clubs, Devonshire Rec, of course, the police club, as well as Dame Marjorie Hope Bean Academy. Apologies. But I'd say that I also want to give a message to the youth of Bermuda, and I would like to thank them very much for coming forward. Thank you for using your voices. Thank you for publishing on social media. Thank you for sending in your articles to the newspapers, because this has solidified the fact that there are others like me. There are others that I want to change Bermuda for. So understand that I moved back to Bermuda about 2.5 years ago. My husband and I had finally both finished our educational endeavors. I had a lot of work experience behind me to hopefully, be able to move back home and have enough experience to gain employment, good employment, something to be able to sustain my family. The only reason that I moved back to Bermuda was because we had our son, my baby boy. And in moving back home, I have realized that Bermuda is not a safe place for children. So I hope to enact policies specifically around the safety and use of playgrounds. Currently, we do not have any, as far as I know. They're just considered generally as other spaces, but there needs to be appropriate policy created for that, for those safe spaces. Also, many of our playgrounds lack bathrooms. Even though there are bathrooms in some places, they are consistently locked because, again, the maintenance is considered to be too difficult. Further national policies that I would like to enact is something called a no refusal law, specifically surrounding access to youth and clean drinking water. A young person in Bermuda should be able to walk into any establishment and request a cup of drinking water. Why? Because our cost of fresh drinking water is too high. So we need to find solutions. I'd like to state that anyone from any constituency is welcome to reach out to me. My website is noelleyoung.info. My email address is young.noelle@icloud.com, and my phone number is 799-4411. I would like to thank everyone who is here today. I do not want to go into more of the policies that I have, but I'd like to state that I have over 50 written down. I do not wish to expose all of them because of the fact that if I am not put in, because of the fact that I am running. However, once I am put in place, if that should happen, if the constituents of 14 will have me, I'm welcome to share all of that information, as well as if I am not elected, I do believe that those policies are important to have. And in closing, I'll say that Malachi Simons and I have created a petition. We actually created that petition months ago when we returned from COP28 last year, sorry. And this is specifically a petition for children and youth equity. It is available to be signed physically as well as digitally. I would also like to put out a call to all the constituents of Bacaton. I am open to meet with you. I am open to collaborate with you because I do not feel that we should be working in silos. We should be listening to the people of those constituencies and collaborating on different methods and policies that can be created for their benefit, whether or not you are elected. So thank you for your time today. Apologies, I slipped up on my words a bit. I am sick, but I look forward to speaking with everyone, and I will be canvassing soon. Thank you.
Great minds for Bermuda Broadcasting. Thank you so much, Ms. Young. question for you. Why did you choose to run as an independent instead of joining one of the main parties?
The main reason I decided to run as an independent candidate is because I feared that all of the environmental and social and humanitarian work that I would be doing would be overshadowed by the fact that I joined a party. I also did not want to be regulated in what I was allowed to do and say. So I'd rather be freelance.
Do you foresee any hurdles for yourself on this campaign trail? And if you are successfully elected come the election, what do you think that you may come up against going forward?
I do foresee hurdles, but I'd be very clear in stating that I don't know what they are. But I am very fluid and very open to change. It's a bit of an issue sometimes, but I will handle everything with grace and humility as I always have.
Yeah, Sarah Lagan. Thanks for your presentation. Some interesting policies there for sure. And certainly you have a reputation for your work with the environment and sustainability, so it's kind of refreshing. And specifically on Belco, you've mentioned there a little bit about the pollution. Can you expand a little bit about how you plan to address that in your own campaign?
I do. So I believe that, again, collaboration is needed from all constituencies that are immediately affected, or I should say physically affected, because a lot of the times people look at things like the soot, but they don't understand that it's broader than that. I should say some don't understand that it's broader than that. So I would like to collaborate with the constituencies as well as their representatives of places that are physically seen as physically being affected. I would say that as far as the creation of national policy, once I am instated, I will work towards the Sustainable Development Goals, the international Sustainable Development Goals, as well as having national Sustainable Development Goals implemented. Currently, Bermuda does not have any national Sustainable Development Goals, and environment is a key Sustainable Development Goal because, of course, we are all intrinsically linked to our environments. We will develop, we will grow, especially the youth of Bermuda. We are easily impacted by whatever is in your environment. I would also say that I want people to remember that our national leadership is not the end game. We are a part of the Commonwealth. So if our national leaders are not being appropriately held accountable, maybe it's time to step over them. In November, I spoke at the House of Commons in the UK, specifically around the Sargasso Sea campaign that I'm doing with Greenpeace. It was well received. And I got the question of why don't Bermudians do this more? Why don't we hear from national leaders more about the concerns that Bermudians have? And in some cases, I feel that's deliberate. I feel that our current administration has deliberately cut our ties with the UK in an effort to make the people feel as though they do not care. But that's not the case. Bermuda used to be titled as the crown jewel, of the Atlantic. So I believe that still stands.
Right. Okay. And are you encouraged? Have you reviewed the Clean Air Amendment Bill yet? That's coming into force. And if so, are you encouraged by it?
I'll say that I'm in the process of reviewing it.
Yes,
I do see improvement, but it's not enough. And I'll leave it there.
Okay, great. And then you've spoken quite a lot about the youth, which is good. And you've mentioned the petition. How do people access that?
Yes, so it's a link is available on my website, and then I'll also be providing a physical copy that people can sign. I'll be walking around the constituency, of course. However, I might be canvassing a bit differently than what people are used to. So yes, I want to canvass at each individual home. I want to go out and talk to people and hear the concerns. However, I'd also invite people to come and speak to me. So I'll be providing dates and times and locations of where I will be so that people can come out, speak to me, sign the petition if they choose to.
Right. And finally, as a youth advocate, what are your opinions on the lack of absentee voting?
It's 2025. It's ridiculous.
morning.
Good morning.
CNN News. What difference are you going to bring to the table?
What different? I would say that first of all, I would like people to consider the fact that I am not a politician. I am a scientist. I'm a fish nerd. I am a youth advocate. Realistically, I'd really like people to think of me as more of a diplomat, not a politician. I am not here specifically for one subset of people. I am here for the good of our entire nation. Other things that I can bring to the table are the environmental factors because of my background in aquaculture, fisheries, sustainability, as well as being a student at Seton Hall University in the master's program of diplomacy and international relations. I bring a different perspective. I'm not looking at this specifically from a business standpoint. I'm not looking at this from a finance standpoint. In many cases, I know that our current leadership, their backgrounds are very similar. How many scientists are there in place right now? How many community advocates are in place right now? How many youth advocates are in place right now? So I hope to bring different perspectives, and I plan to bring solutions. I am not just here to complain. Solutions are more important than the complaints.
How do you translate that to the senior, to the young person?
How do I translate it to the young person? In this day and age.
What is senior?
All right. So in plain language, and actually sitting down and talking to people and meeting them where they're at. Again, that is part of the reason why, yes, I'm going to be doing, that individual canvassing at people's homes, but I'm also inviting people to come out and speak with me on their own terms, on their own time. Not everybody wants someone showing up and knocking at their door, As far as the youth, they can feel free to contact me in any way, shape, or form. Nowadays, we know how to contact each other. We can look each other up on Facebook, Instagram, websites, things like that. But as far as interpretation for the youth, I don't feel they need it. In many cases, things are dumbed down for the youth as if they're unintelligent. Bermuda has an extremely intelligent and talented population of youth that is very underutilized. So no, I'm not going to dumb things down for them because they don't need it.
Good stuff. Just lost my train of thought. Your last statement just. What is your greatest disappointment of Bermuda today?
My greatest disappointment of Bermuda today is how the youth are being treated. The children and youth of this country are being treated. I don't understand it personally. As far as it comes to the education system itself, I would like to reform education reform. I was on the board for Sands School. I believe I attended 2 meetings and then I couldn't bring myself to attend the rest. I dropped out.
Because
they were not taking into account the needs of the young people. They were taking into account what was easiest, not what was best.
sounds like you have a heart for our young people.
I really do. I was raised by a single father. I'll put that out there. My dad, Gino Brangman, mother, Heather Steins Brangman, granddaughter to Rosalind Steins and Irving Steins, Cherry Battersby. I'm also a descendant of the Enterprise ship, a history that I don't think many Bermudian youth even really recognize that they have a connection to because it's not really taught in our schools. We're not taught our own history. We're not even taught how our own political system works, right? But I am, what would that be? Mahalia and Mary Warfield would be my 3rd great-grandmothers. I grew up in a family of very strong women, that taught me that it was okay to speak out, and being raised by a single father, I think that again just gives me a different perspective on life. Another policy that I wish to put in place in future is further support for fathers. In many cases nowadays, Bermudian males, you guys are kind of just looked at as a paycheck, right? You're not looked at as contributing, leading members of your families. It needs to change. You cannot expect the young people of this country to go out there and stand toe to toe with children from international countries that have family support, financial support, moral support. They cannot do that. They need help. So in that case, that is where Bermuda falls short. You are undervaluing your children. And by you, I do not mean their parents. I will be clear in stating that.
Appreciate your perspective. Before we conclude, how can one make contact with you again? Numbers?
Sure.
Website,
So
etc.
my website is Noelle, Noelle.info, noelleyoung.info. My email address is young, YOUNG, .noelle, NOELLE, @icloud.com. And phone number 799-4411. Best way to reach me is written because I generally don't have a ton of time to answer my phone. But if you do wish to call me, leave a voicemail and I will respond. And I'll just invite Ms. Aruda to quickly provide a translation for me. Thank you again for agreeing to this.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'll keep this rather brief because there is no way that I can translate everything that Ms. Young had said. Oh. And I just firstly want to congratulate her in coming out and standing as an independent candidate for the constituency and for Bermuda for that matter. So I will jump right into it. Bom dia, eu sou Suzy Arruda e estou aqui para apoiar e apresentar a candidata independente Noelle Young, que vai representar a C14, Devonshire Northwest. Ela está intencionalmente desafiando a liderança de Wayne Keynes, o presidente da Belco, uma empresa notória por poluir a nossa ilha. Ela defende equalidade, justiça social, gestão ambiental, segurança alimentar e orgulho cultural. Ela está muito entusiasmada para trabalhar e representar não só a comunidade portuguesa, mas toda a Bermuda. Thank you.
Thank you.